everybody, it is 10th video already about our Europe adventure, land and sea, and we showed you a few parts already about our sailing. Right now we are leaving Marina Agana, but sailing videos continuing. And we are going to Zagreb. We will show you different pictures of countryside in Croatia. And Zagreb, that left mixed feeling in my head. It will be the beginning, because we will have two parts about Zagreb. What are we going to show you in the first part? It will be about the train station, Ilica street and flea market, and Grič Tunnel. Stay with us, there will be more in the second part. During our sailing, and you saw in our videos, we showed you a few interesting little towns in Croatia, and you saw how beautiful they are and how cute they are. But you know, when you take train, and along the train, the railroad, you see completely different picture. You see many abandoned houses, many houses are destroyed. I don't know why. I have no idea. Maybe somebody has the explanation. I would be happy to hear it. But here you are, you can see it. When you get by train to any country, what do you see? Of course, the train station. And it is Zagreb's train station. Outside actually looks beautiful. It is very clean, outside and inside, very clean. You know, I was born in the Soviet Union, and the train stations in the Soviet Union looked exactly like here, or like in Split train station. And the same I can say about Slovenia in Ljubljana. The train station looks like the Soviet Union train stations. I don't want to insult anybody, but it is my feeling. When, for example, I was in Switzerland, I did not have this feeling, but probably because Yugoslavia was close to Soviet Union, and maybe it influenced on buildings as well. I don't know. But anyway, it is a very interesting place. I want to tell you, good pastry. My husband bought a lot of them for him to eat. And even I think you noticed there is like a book, I don't know, book selling place, book kiosk in the middle. You don't see it very often here on the right. You don't see it very often in other places. But this particular place where we are walking right now was very strange, very strange. Of course, there is graffiti. You can't escape from graffiti. The place when you can put and store your luggage.
It's a very
But
strange place.
the train station here in this place looked abandoned as well, looked rough. Not really, people did not take good care about this place. It was my feeling. And if you go to the Soviet Union, even to Russia right now, in small places there, in small towns, you can see train station like this.
Closed. It is a very strange place.
Again, I don't want to offend to anybody, but it is what you see. But everything is so clean. There is a train cafe on the perron. Looks very small and interesting as well. And by the way, on the electronic monitor we notice that trains delayed very often, many delays. And of course, like in the Soviet Union, near many train stations you can see the old train. Here you are near the old train. The plaza right before, in the front of the train station. It looks nice. I mentioned already that usually we reserve our hotels near train stations, and this hotel, Best Western Plus, we reserved as well not far from Zagreb train station. Nice hotel, in a very good location, not far from Old Town. And like I said, it is Best Western Plus, Astoria Hotel. Looks very nice, and from our balcony you can see this view. Not great, right? We showed you Ljubljana, Innsbruck, and all of that places have graffiti. And Zagreb is the same. It has a lot of graffiti. Ben said that even more than Innsbruck and Ljubljana. But anyway, it makes city look not good, ugly, I even can say. In places where you see graffiti, it is ugly, in my opinion. How to struggle with this? I don't know. I don't have any solution. No, I think just illuminate it. What else? And explain to people that it is their town, their city. They should not do it. What else can you do? I don't know.
I'm guessing that many people could do what Zena and I did and spend an entire day just on one street in Zagreb. That street is, I guess, pronounced Ilica Street. It has two L's on the beginning, and it is the very famous shopping street of Zagreb. Apparently that's where everyone goes to visit the fancy shops. When we were there, their first walk on Ilica Street was on a Sunday, and so many things were closed all day and many things were only open after about noon. So if you see a lot of shops in this video that seem to be closed, the reason why is that it was a Sunday, and even it was fairly early on a Sunday. But a lot of things were open and people were out running around the streets. And as was true throughout Eastern Europe, there were little street bakeries everywhere. And these little street bakeries all sold basically the same thing, combination of a lot of pastries, sometimes pizza, sandwiches of various kinds, some interesting meat pies, sometimes quiches, and so forth. But they were everywhere, and we saw those everywhere in Eastern Europe we went. And not just Eastern Europe, but Switzerland and Austria also. Also, something that you see very much in Eastern Europe is fruit stands and vegetable stands. And from what we saw, a lot of people seem to do their shopping for their everyday produce at these street stands in the cities. And it would be hard to blame them, because it looked as though that's where the best, freshest, and cheapest produce and fruit was to be found. Zagreb wasn't very busy on the downtown shopping street on that Sunday, at least at first, as you can tell from the street view here, but it got busier as the day went on. These electric trams were everywhere and they ran constantly. I think that street is sort of the central hub of that tram system, and you can tell it because if you don't watch out, there'll be one right behind you every moment. So you have to kind of stay alert if you're walking down the streets, which most people are, but the trams don't seem really to run over very many people. The usual graffiti that you see everywhere, some of it a little weird, but I suppose that's true all over the world these days. Zagreb we found to be a much better city, much more interesting city, and a much more fun city than we first anticipated before we arrived, or when we arrived. It's really an interesting place and has a lot to offer to the visitor. It's a city that I think we can both recommend.
Here on Ilica Street we noticed the market, and not just the market, it was the flea market. No, because like Ben mentioned, many stores were closed still. We decided that it is great. We can walk here and to see what they have. And they had some unique stuff, like this crown, for example. They
It's very old, it's special.
are selling this for 800 euros, and it is the crown from the theater from Zagreb, 150 years old, and it was used in the play The King Lear. I actually regret that I did not ask why he is selling it. The theater doesn't need it anymore. or what?
It's beautiful.
Anyway,
Theater.
it is here.
You go
I
to theater,
I like this batiscaf, or what is the name of it, and decided to try it. You know, it is a very strange feeling. If you are claustrophobic, don't put it on. It is awful. I did not like it at all. I wanted to take it off as soon as possible. And because I mentioned already that I was born in the Soviet Union, and look at this camera that takes pictures. You can take pictures, no videos. It is the old Russian camera made in USSR, it says. I remember this camera, and even I think I had this camera, but we saw a few things like this in this particular flea market in Zagreb. No, you know what flea market looks like. By the way, Ben calls this Nazi head. You know how flea market looks like. You can walk there forever, and you can find so much interesting things. But do you want to buy it? No. Some people collect some stuff, and it is their hobby, but it's not our hobby. We were just walking through, and that's it, and left this wonderful place on Ilica Street in Zagreb. Even this picture I want you for US Army. Are you ready? The Route 66 is here as well. What I don't like here, garbage cans are right on the street. Of course it looks not attractive. It looks, I can say, ugly.
Better than garbage on the streets, isn't it?
Yes, it is better than garbage on the street, but you can put just nice garbage cans. Can you?
You can just have nicer garbage.
And here, again, we see the phone with graffiti. Very old phone. I don't know if it is working.
Going through the tunnel, Grič, underneath the park, Grič.
Okay, let's go. How long does it take?
It's a long tunnel. It's what? No, not that long. 150 feet.
No,
You can see the
you
end.
can't. No, 100, not 150 feet. No, it's
If you
longer.
knew, why did you ask me?
No, Hap, no, you can tell that it is longer. 150 feet, it is 50 meters, and it is at least 400 meters. By the way, the right pronunciation of the tunnel is Grič. But did you notice something? No graffiti.
Well, on these walls, probably big hard to paint on.
No graffiti. It is great. And there is another
This is an emergency exit. There are 4
pass.
emergency exits.
It is 4 emergency exits from this tunnel. Why do they have an emergency exit?
I don't know.
If something happened to this main tunnel and it will collapse,
I guess. I noticed that one of the tours of this city that you can get is what they call a wartime tour, touring the places that related to the war as it happened in Croatia in the 1990s. The reason I was not very interested in it is because there wasn't very much war. The war did not affect Croatia very much, and it was very brief in Croatia. But one of the places that the tour goes is a tunnel that was used as a shelter during the bombing of Zagreb. And I bet it was this tunnel. Of course it was this tunnel.
probably it was this tunnel. They were hiding here in 1990 during the war. It is a big tunnel.
It wasn't 1990, it was
90,
93, 4,
19
5, somewhere in
no,
there.
1990s, I mean. Okay, we are leaving the tunnel and we are in Old Town, right?
Yeah.
Ben said not yet. But we left the tunnel anyway. You leave tunnel and you are in the tourist area. But it will be next time. And we took hop on, hop off bus. I swear I have never seen anything like that. You will see why. And I will show you Russian or Ukrainian grocery store, beautiful churches and cathedrals. I hope you like our video, subscribe, and we will see you next time. Bye!